The biggest mystery in Acceleracers is your mum. Just kidding, it's Galoran being mummy. Just kidding, it's actually Vert's mum. The reason why it's so mysterious is because we barely know anything about her, and she's also kind of important given that she birthed Vert, who, you know, won the world race and became an Acceleracer. Well, this was mysterious until I thought of something that could potentially solve this mystery. And it gets really kinda dark. First off, the most important part of this theory is that Major Wheeler is a man of duty. He constantly chooses his duty over his family, and rightfully so, because without a country, there is no family.
Do you know how sorry I am that I had to be away so much? But duty had to come first. That's the real challenge in life. Choosing between two things, when both of them mean everything to you.
More importantly, we can gather that his entire philosophy is doing something for the greater good.
You can't always do what you want. You have to think about other people.
And it's this duty that takes him away from Vert and his wife constantly. Although albeit he does go away for a while, he always returns.
I didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Obviously this implies a family attachment.
I just came back to get a few things.
And a fatherly responsibility, otherwise he would and could just permanently stay stationed. It's also important that he's a major, which is a pretty high rank, probably the leader of his squadron. A pretty high rank which involves a high risk important operation, him being a silencer involving interdimensional threats. Given that Major Wheeler is part of the military, it's likely that the silencers are an intelligence agency for Europe, as we can see in his screenshot. And the philosophy of a governmental spy agency is similar to Wheeler's philosophy, doing things for the greater good, having a duty for the world. And since Major Wheeler is an important role, being the leader of the Silencer Squadron, him going back home would be detrimental for the agency and its progress and all the threats that they face. And so what would they do? They could, as a governmental agency, and as ludicrous as they are sometimes, and as smart as they are, it's not without reason that they would kill his wife to keep him at work permanently, although they would still have to deal with Vert in some way, although that problem solved itself. He was already kinda doing his own thing by 16. We see that throughout the films he can literally just do what he wants without supervision, given that Major Wheeler is basically out all the time. This potentially opens up the idea that that's the reason why Tesla went rogue, though that's highly unlikely considering he has literally no feelings for humans. Vert's mom may also know somewhat what Major Wheeler is doing, given that he did give that quote of,
"You should be more careful."
Huh. That's what Mom used to say to you every time you left.
Or maybe she didn't know, maybe she's just saying that because he's a military man. If we do look at Major Wheeler's transition from the world race to Acceleracers, he does seem a lot more depressed, so he could have found out how harsh the silencers actually are, but what can you do? He's basically like in Darth Vader's position. There's nothing else he can do, really, because he has to do his job anyway. So what's he gonna do? Nothing? What's he gonna do? Leave? Yeah, right, when he has to save the world. Aside from that dark-ass theory, Vert's mother seems like she died from a sickness like cancer, which is why Wheeler feels so much guilt. He couldn't give her comfort to his wife nor son in her final moments, and then she died while he was away. However, since I'm going with an in-law explanation for everything, something interesting that pops up is Monkey's photo in his room of Vert's mum, which could mean that Monkey is a half-brother of Vert, where Vert's mum was a previous divorcee or widow and found Major Wheeler. Anyway, that's the video. What do you think? Thanks for watching.